Hello again and welcome back here. In this video, I want to create the wall clock. Let's put this image right here and let's go to the right view. Hit Z to go to wireframe so we can see the reference image. And it is right here. So to create this 3D cursor is still right here. You can put it anywhere you like, for example, right here temporarily. And let's go to the right. Hit Z to go to wireframe and let's add a circle. Hit Shift A and let's add a circle right here and align this circle to the view, and here we have it. Alright, I will accept the number of the vertices 62 and I will hit G to move it, and let's put it for example right here, and I will scale it to be big like that. Try to put it in the center. Alright, something like this. And if you like, you can apply the scale because we give it a bit of scale. All right, now let's create this next circle. With this one selected, I will tap to go to the edit mode, and I will hit Shift with D to take a copy like that, and hit right click to leave this copy in the same place, and then hit S to scale this down just a little bit like that. You can go back to the reference image and make a comparison if you like. It's up to you. And I will take another copy, hit Shift D like this, and scale this down like that. And you can now grab half of this circle and then hit Shift D to take a copy up here. And you can grab the other half. I'm not so quite sure. Maybe these vertices, I guess. You can hit B just to make sure that you are selecting the correct vertices. All right, it seems like, all right, yeah. The problem is if you create a selection like that, and if you put the selection perfectly in the middle, I don't have vertices at the middle, as you can see, and that will affect the curvature of the shape that we are trying to create. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I will delete those, hit XV, and I will grab this and rotate it 90 degrees. Just rotate it like that, 90 degrees, and you will fix the problem. And now, yep, now we can select these vertices. We can select half of the circle, as you can see. So I will grab this half, hit Shift D, take a copy right here, and grab the other half like that, and hit Shift D and push this over there. And these vertices in the middle, you can scale them down like this because we don't need them. I will select this vertex with this one, and then I will hit F to create edge, or let's say connection between them. And then I will select this vertex. I can go to the perspective so you can understand what's going on here. I will select this one, Alt Shift to grab this one, and then hit F. And let's try to make this perfectly in the correct position. Maybe we should move this down just a tiny bit like that, or maybe up and then move this down. I guess that will be better, something like that. And now we got all the necessary circles, but this one in the middle, I will detach it because I don't want it now. So select these vertices and then hit P and then S to separate this out. All right, now let's tab out, and now with these vertices selected, I will apply the scale first, and then I will give it a thickness. What we can do is we can convert this to a curve, so we can give this a thickness. After you convert this to a curve, go to the curve properties and go to the geometry, open it, and under the bevel, and you can give it a thickness in this way. All right, everything looks cool, but here you can see the edges on the side are too much. You can reduce the number of the resolution from here if you like, in case you want to give this subdivision surface to make this even smoother. If you want to add subdivision surface later, it's not quite necessary to leave these edges so close on the side. We can reduce that, and that will be better. All right, so after doing that, now we can apply this to add subdivision surface. So hit Control A, and you can apply visual geometry to mesh if you are so satisfied. And now it's become mesh. As you can see right here, the icon is changed back to mesh. Now you can go to the modifier section, hover over here, hit Shift A to add, and now you can add subdivision surface. And yep, it's cool. Right click, shade smooth, and I guess that's it. You can increase the level from here, but I think that's not quite necessary. As you can see in the render is 2. I guess that's too much. 1 will be perfect. And now we can go back to this piece and tab, and with these vertices selected, I can hit F just to fill it with a face, and then extrude this just a little bit like that, and maybe extrude this one more time like this, and scale this inside. As you can see, the color is red. That's mean the normal is flipped. I will hit A and then Shift and to recalculate the normal. And I will select this face and then hit I to insert this. All right, and maybe now we can bevel this if you like. I will extrude this inside like that. And now we can start with the hour hand and the minute hand. So let's see how can we create them. We can go to the right view, and I can put the 3D cursor over here in the middle of this geometry. Just select it and then hit Shift with S, hold it and move the mouse down to select cursor to select it. And now we got it right here. Shift A to add, and let's add plane, and let's align the plane to the view like that from the align section. It is very big, as you can see, it's 200 centimeter. Let's change this to 1 centimeter, make it very small, and I just want to take it out like that. All right, and let's tab to go to edit mode, and I will select these vertices and hit E to extrude those almost right here. And you can scale it just a little bit, make it thinner, and from this side you can extrude it just a little bit like that. All right, that's very cool. And now you can give it a thickness. So let's hit E and extrude this out like that. All right, after that, we can grab these edges and bevel them. You can use bevel modifier. I prefer using bevel modifier. So let's apply the scale first in case I think we didn't scale it. We changed the number. So now we can add bevel, 0.1 centimeter, and increase the number of the segment, shade smooth, hard and normal. All right, and now I can add another one, or hit Shift D to have another one, and leave it in the same place. Just hit right click, and now you can move this below it like this, and we can make it shorter. Just tab, go to the vertex selection mode, hit 1, and then grab these vertices and just move it down just a little bit and make it shorter. Tab out, and that's it. Now you can rotate this. All right, R to the X, R to the X, and just rotate this a little bit. And if you want to add a beam, if you want to add a beam right here, you can add it right now. Let's add, for example, a UV sphere, I guess. and let's change the radius to 1 centimeter. All right, now let's take this out here, and I just want to rotate this to the y-axis, R to the y, and let's type 9 degree like that. Tap to go to the edit mode, and I will delete half of this. XV to delete these vertices, and I will scale this, make it small. You can check that from the right view. And let's move this just a little bit. Right. And you can accept this result actually. Maybe you can flatten it just a tiny bit. And that's it. All right, very cool. So this is how to create the wall clock. If you want to create an empty to control this, you can go to the local mode, and what I can do is I can grab, for example, one of these edges, for example this one, alt click to select the entire edge loop, and let's put the 3D cursor right here. Hit Shift S and choose cursor to select it, and now 3D cursor aligned perfectly to this circle. And now I will add empty. We can manipulate the size of this pig. And now I will select everything, hold Shift, select the empty, and hit Control B and set parent to object. And now we can move this from the empty. And in case you want to put it in a specific collection, go ahead and do that. Just select everything and then hit M and the new collection. You can call this wall clock, hit enter 2 times, and that's it.